Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel and spending some time with me today. Always grateful for that because I know we all are limited with time we have, and really appreciate you guys spending some time with Intuitive Angling here. Guys, today we're going to be talking about why it is good not to catch fish, why it is good to have days where you do not catch fish, how it's necessary that you have those days, how it'll make you a better angler and a better person. And I know a lot of you guys will probably say, oh, BS on that, Randy. I don't ever want to have a day where I don't catch any fish. Yeah, you do. You do want to have those days, and I'll explain why in today's video. Also, guys, I wanted to share with you one of the top fall lures. We're getting, at the time of filming this video here, guys, it's mid-September. We're getting into some prime fishing in October, and one of my favorite lures, guys, is a big buzzbait. A big black buzzbait in the month of October and early November is really good. This is my favorite. This is the Mega Bass Jamaican boa buzzbait. Thing is freaking big old blade on it, big hunking half-ounce buzzbait, you know, large profile for the fish. So I'll include my Tackle Warehouse link in the description to the Jamaican boa buzzer if you guys would like to pick one up. I think it'd be a good lure for you coming up this fall here. Okay, guys, this is one of those things I'm gonna get a lot of blowback. People are gonna say, I don't want any part of that. You know, I want to go out and catch them every single day I'm out there. And that's the thing about it, you don't, guys. One of the important parts of bass fishing in order to develop your character as an angler and a person and your skills as an angler is you need to have those days out there that you suck, where you can't figure nothing out, where you can't get a bite, nothing's working that you try. Everything is just like, you know, you can't catch a fish in a bucket. You want to have days like that occasionally. And I'm not talking about all the time, but it's important to have those days somewhat consistently. I'm not saying like, you know, every week or something or whatever, but you need to have that enough that will remind you what the important things are in fishing. We'll talk about this. Now, the first thing about it, there's a lot of different elements we're going to cover here, but the first element I want to talk about is having days out there where you struggle, where you really have a difficult time catching fish, is so important in order to gain an appreciation for those days that you do catch fish. The days that the fish bite really good are rare. They really are, guys. It's like as long as I've been fishing, I can tell you for sure, those days that you get out there where it's flowing and you're catching a bunch of fish and you're having a good time, they don't happen a lot. A lot of times in fishing, it's sort of a grind to catch them. You really got to work at it. And it's really important to have those days out there that are frustrating and you just can't put nothing together, because it makes you appreciate those good days. And unless you have some type of a frame of reference as far as to bounce it off from, you don't have that appreciation for it. That's why a lot of the guys that I see that are, you know, very successful, super good anglers out there, a lot of the common thread that I see with them out there is they sort of lose their appreciation for the fish if they get really skilled, where they have very few bad days. Now, everybody's going to have them, even the top angler. But one of the things that I really don't mind is having those days where I don't catch them. Yeah, it's not any fun at the time, but it really makes the next couple times that you go out where you start catching fish, you gain an appreciation and a gratitude and an admiration for those fish, and you don't ever take them for granted. And that's one of the things that you never want to do in fishing. You don't ever want to take the fish for granted, because it is special to catch a bass. And the more bass that you catch in your life, you always have to remind yourself of that, how special that is. Let me give you a prime example. I got a chance to take this one girl fishing about 30 years ago who had never caught a bass before. And she was really excited about going. She, you know, was saying about, "How do you think we'll catch one today?" And I said, "Well, you know, I think we'll catch one." So I remember we were fishing a little 4-inch plastic worm, and she threw this thing down. There was some grass up on the bank there, and she threw that worm along the bank. And I was telling her how to work it and everything. And after about 20 or 30 minutes, you know, she's feeling it. She goes, "Man, something feels funny on here." And I saw her line swimming out. I said, "You got one, set the hook." And she catches and she sets the hook on this bass and she reels it in, and it's about a 12-inch long bass. Guys, you cannot believe how she lit up. The excitement that she had by actually catching this fish, and she was holding it and she was looking at it and she was noticing every color, the color of the fish's eyes, the color of the scales, how the colors faded down from the top of the back, and notice all of their fins on there, and just absorbing this fish with unbelievable appreciation and gratitude for that. We don't do that anymore. It's like that anymore. A lot of guys I see, when they start catching too many fish, they can't unhook them quick enough to toss them back in the water. And you lose that gratitude and respect and admiration. You don't ever want to do that as an angler. You always want to have that appreciation that girl that I was telling you about had when she very first caught her first fish, because that is honoring the fish, and that's what makes it really special and important. So in my opinion, that's the number one thing. Another thing with that is you're always going to learn more from your failures and your successes. So if you do have one of those days that you simply can't catch them, one of the best things that you can do is try to call your buddies or ask some friends that maybe have been fishing that same weekend, or talk to some people on the lake that were there at the same day you did, and sort of ask them what the deal was. Like, man, I just can't catch them today. I could not figure them out. And if you get somebody out there that says, well, man, I caught probably 15 or 20 today, and you ask them, and they're honest with you, and they tell you how to catch them, that is such a tremendous opportunity to learn, because you see how the decisions that you made on the water impacted your success or lack of it. And one of the things you're going to find out about in fishing, guys, when you have those days that are really bad and you can't catch them, and you lose confidence in yourself and you lose confidence in your ability, and then you see somebody else that are catching them really good, the first thing people do a lot of times is you think this, like, man, I'm just not that smart as an angler. This guy's probably got some, trick deal figured out that I'll never figure out. And it's always something simple. It's like, if you have one of those days where you can't catch anything, and then you talk to somebody that has caught a bunch of fish, it's always something simple, and you say, I can't believe I didn't figure that out. It's a lot of them, it's like, oh, I just caught him throwing a Texas rig worm up on this bank here, not overanalyzing or not trying to make it overcomplicated. It's always usually something simple with that. So don't ever underestimate the importance that a learning experience will have, when you don't catch them. And thirdly, guys, and lastly, I think it is very important to have those days that you suck. Even more importantly, once you get to be a skilled bass angler, and even more importantly, if you get to become a skilled tournament angler, is you need those days where you suck to humble you. Because one of the things that I cannot stand is cocky ass bass fishermen that think they know it all and think they got everything figured out and think that, they're better than everybody else. That having that humbleness and being humbled by those fish is really an important aspect, because it makes you learn a lot about yourself. It makes you learn that, that you don't know everything that you think you know, and you're not as good as what you think you are. And if you don't have, the aids of a live scope or the aids of whatever, technology that you're using, if you take that away from you, are you still going to be able to catch them and maintain your confidence? So you need to be humble. And that's the main thing about fishing, guys. Fishing should be a very humble, gratitude-filled sport. There's no room in it for arrogance. There's no room in it for cockiness. There's no room in it for disrespect. There's no room in it for dishonoring the fish. It is a privilege to be able to fish in this country. It's a privilege to be able to bass fish, and honor that privilege. Really, really take it seriously and go out there and appreciate and respect, show gratitude for that fish, show gratitude for the fact that you're out on the lake there. Be humble. It just makes for a better life all the way. Once you do this, you're going to not only become a better angler, but you're going to become a better person as well. And the thing about fishing, especially competitive fishing, guys, it will force you to learn more about yourself than any other sport out there, because fishing on a competitive level, you experience the entire range of human emotions. You experience exhilaration, sadness, joy, anger, frustration, everything. And that's, from that standpoint, there's not a better vehicle to learn more about yourself. So anyway, guys, next time you have a suck down the water and you're not catch them, just be happy about it. Be glad that it happened to you, because it's going to make you better down the road. So hope you guys are well. We'll talk later.